Happy Monday, everybody. Today's video is bound to shatter some inherent bodybuilding beliefs. Supersets are not super. So for decades, every musclehead has been told like, yo, you gotta do supersets because XYZ did it, right? So normally it looks like this, right? So let's say most classic one would be bench. Obviously we'd be using weight normally. And then we'd be heading, oops, I lost my mic. Let's do this again. Can you guys hear me? Sounds okay? Yes, no? Can you hear me? Good. And then we'll be doing some sort of a row, right? What's the problem with that? The problem is that, for one, I can probably bench 350 and row the same, but if I do it back to back, I'd be happy if I get half of that. So I'm under training. The other argument for supersets is always they're hard. Well, drinking bleach is hard, doesn't make it a good idea, right? And then there's the argument, it's quick. Well, if your goal is to have a fast and short workout, you're probably in the wrong sport. So what to do instead? You can manipulate the exercise from within. So let's say you're doing a T-bar row. You could be starting something like this, where the elbow points out, and then you'll be going parallel to the bar, for instance. Or if you're training your legs, you could be doing something where you start out couple reps in a wide stance, really working the glutes and the inner thighs, and then you'll be going in a more of a narrow stance, and then for the last couple reps you could put your heels on the plates, thereby isolating the quads a bit more. The same thing could be done on the bench. So let's say you're benching. Since we have the bench, guys, setup for the bench is as such that you go under, you have tension in your lower back, you pull the shoulder blades down, and the first thing you do is a pull over. So that way your lats are activated. And you have an inward intention. And let's say you get a couple reps starting with a narrow grip. And then as you fatigue, you're shifting the grip out, thereby you're shortening the way and involving your pecs more. And this way you could maximize your set. So that's option one, basically manipulating the exercise itself. Want to be more sophisticated, you could be doing something we talked about last week, which is optimizing the strength curve. So for instance, you want to train legs, you start with a stretch position, which would be sissy squats, which is the greatest misnomer ever. Okay, working the quads in a weak position. Then you go into more of a power exercise. In this case, the leg press. By the way, leg press, the range of motion is whatever you can pull down. If you let the weight press you, you're not doing it right. So you get a couple reps here, 10 or so, pushing from the heels, squeezing the quads on the way down and on the way up. Down and up. And then, for the third part, you could be using the good old leg extension. I said this before, but those handles, they have a purpose. Pull yourself down and squeeze out. If you lift your butt up, you automatically start working in a more favorable position. and you're not getting the full benefit of the exercise. So pull yourself down and work from here. So you want to do this for the back. Let's say you could be setting up your lat pull down kind of like so, and you'll be starting with the stretch position for the lats. Then you could move into, obviously you would up the weight, a power position. And then it would be basically the contraction right thereafter with a stiff arm. This also works beautifully for the chest, by the way. For instance, could be setting this up for flies, where you work mainly in stretch position. Then go into a press, in this case straight out, pushing the elbows together. That would be somewhat the power position because you're using the triceps. And then you could be going in a wide grip push-up, just about here, and only work the top part, squeezing the floor together. Remember Chuck Norris, he pushes the earth away? That should be on a push-up, pushing it away. So that's option number 2, optimize the strength curve. Number 3 would be, you could be doing pulses, X reps, small reps. So let's say you're doing seated rows. By the way, this is not a row. That's a human tiller pattern. You want to be upright, drop the shoulders, pull the shoulders back, and now start moving the elbows in. Elbows go in, into the body. As you fatigue, you'll be doing a couple small reps just about here. And then have your training partner push you in, and you get a couple small reps in the contracted position. Okay? So that would be pulses. I'm gonna show you this for the incline dumbbell press. Again, setup. Shoulder blades pulled, tension, drive the dumbbells together, but not all the way, because here you're losing tension because the weight is stacked on your joints. So you'll be doing a regular set, and then about midpoint you could be getting maybe 5 or 6 more reps, then have somebody help you up here and get a couple small, squeeze the chest together. If you don't have somebody, you could just be doing the small reps, then do an isometric where you just be holding the chest together. So that is that. And the fourth option would be mechanical drop sets. So mechanical drop sets basically is a way of training where you have a target muscle, then you add more muscles. This muscle fatigues. What do I mean by this? So let's say you are training triceps. So you could start out very, very strict with a tricep extension. Then, as you get tired, you have a couple reps of the California press. You go from here to here, involving your delts a bit more. The triceps still work. And then you could be doing close grip presses where you involve your chest to help the tricep to perform more reps. So that would be an example of a mechanical drop set. Now for biceps, you could be doing, let's say, reverse curls. Very difficult, very isolated. You fatigue, you start doing regular curls. And then when you can't move it anymore, you leisurely walk over here and you do some close grip pull-ups, thereby having the lats helping your biceps. So the bottom line is this: only because people do something for a long time doesn't mean it works. Supersets work, but not optimal. So either optimize the exercise or train the strength curve, add pulses, or mechanical drop sets. With this, we're out. Wednesday, we'll be talking about how to set up your workout on your own. Thanks, guys.